I have a doozy of a video for you guys today. In this video, I'm going to give you guys 5 of my hottest movie takes so far in the year 2025. During my time on YouTube, I have come to realize I don't agree with a lot of other reviewers, a lot of critics on a lot of movies. And it's not just I don't like the things they like, it's the reasoning for why they like or dislike things. This video is guaranteed to piss off some people, ruffle some feathers. Anyways, here we go. Let's talk about my 5 hottest takes I have so far in the year 2025. Let's start off with a bang. Let's talk about my spiciest of all, possibly. I think Sinners is one of the best movies of the year, but also simultaneously one of the most overrated movies ever. Now, when I talked about this movie, I sang its praises. I still think it's a fabulous movie. I think it's very good. I think it's well acted. I think it looks great. I think the commentary has a lot to be said. But this movie is one of the most glazed movies I have ever seen. This movie is talked about like it's Citizen Kane. This movie is talked about like it's a top 5 movie of all time. It's probably not even a top 100 movie of all time. I thought the first half of this movie was significantly better than the second half, although I do think it's a great movie, as I just said. But the way people talk about this film as if it's changing lives. This movie is just good. It has things to say. I think it's a well-made movie. But some of the things people liked about this movie were actually my least favorite thing, not surprisingly. There's a discussion about a scene in this movie where the barn burns down and music transcends time. People say it's one of the best shots in horror history. And for me, that might possibly be the worst scene in the entire movie, where you have different genres of music overlapping. You have rap being played in this old school barn. You have a bunch of different time traveling elements. And I understand what they're trying to do from a commentary perspective. But I thought it was so tonally all over the place, it almost ruined my immersion in the first half of this movie that was highly effective. But this entire take stems from me just constantly reading that not only is this one of the best movies of the year, this is decisively the best movie of the year, and it's decisively one of the best movies ever made. Could not disagree more. In fact, I love this movie. I gave this movie a rating of awesome. I said it was the best movie of 2025 at the point I saw it. From that point, I have had no urge to revisit this movie. I said I probably would in that review. I am interested in seeing how it ages when I eventually do get around to it. There's layered commentary. I think this movie was very easy to pick up on the first time, I'm not gonna lie. And for that reason, I don't think this movie has a whole lot of rewatch value. I think it's incredibly well acted. I think the way they were able to green screen Michael B. Jordan twice is jaw-dropping. I have no idea how they were able to pull that off. And there are some super memorable characters in this, but I think when this movie morphs into a watered-down version of From Dusk Till Dawn, this movie lost a lot of its power because all of the metaphors, all of the commentary became very on the nose. And I just think this movie is a good movie. It's a great movie. It will be in my top 5, my top 10 at the end of the year. That reason, it's kind of frustrating to hear discussion around it because I feel like a lot of people are going into this movie expecting a life-changing experience, and they are just completely underwhelmed because a lot of people are going to feel like I do. They think it's a great movie, but it ain't the way you guys have been talking about it. It's completely overrated. The next hot take I have is that not only do I not like the movie Bring Her Back, but I don't think it's an objectively good horror movie at all. And the reason I say that is the reason people really enjoyed this movie. They talk about how it's such a bleak experience. It's haunting, the way you'll feel. It's meant to upset you. And I agree with all of that. I left this movie feeling like I needed a shower, but I don't feel like any of it was earned at all. Felt like something where the directors were just trying to divert expectations and just do as much edgy stuff as possible without earning any of it. If you take the gore out of this movie, there's no point for it to exist. There's a scene where a kid in this just starts biting on a kitchen counter. He starts chewing on a knife. You wrote this movie without any of that happening. The movie is the exact same. It just doesn't have that brutal punch. And as a horror fan, I think you need to earn gore. I'm not a gore hound, so maybe you guys feel differently. But this is just a movie where every single edgy moment that was supposed to make me feel something, I feel like it was just cookie cutter shoehorned in. Like they didn't set any of this up properly to make the payoff worth. For example, there's another main storyline going on with one of the foster children where he's trying to figure out what's going on and his character is evolving. He's kind of the protector of his young sister. And 5 to 10 minutes before this movie ends, for absolutely no reason, they just kill the kid and they axe his storyline. They move on from it. And it just makes the entire first hour of the movie with his character development feel completely pointless. And I understand why it's done, because it's trying to divert your expectations and make you feel bad and make you feel bleak about this subject matter and how this movie's progressing. But I just don't think that's a well-written movie to take the most important and interesting storylines and just axe them for the sake of, ha, bet you didn't see that coming. And that was all this movie was doing stuff you didn't expect to happen because they felt like they could. Whereas Talk to Me felt like a very cohesive story and something unique. This movie felt derivative to me because it doesn't go anywhere. There's people talking about how haunting the ending of this movie is. Again, it's not earned whatsoever. You don't like the character when it happens, so you feel nothing for her. And overall, this was just a very bleak, miserable experience for me. I saw this at an early showing. Numerous people walked out. I do not understand the hype. Not only do I not think this is a great movie, I don't even think it's a good movie. I left the theater scratching my head. I do not see it. Next up, I have Jurassic Park Rebirth. Is a pretty watchable movie, and I think it's probably the second best Jurassic Park. Now, I don't know what you guys expect personally when you go into a Jurassic Park dinosaur movie, but I all but expect them to suck. I thought the first movie is great, iconic, all-time movie, and basically all the others are completely forgettable. I'm not a fan of them whatsoever, so I think this movie easily slots into the top 2 or 3. I thought the Jurassic World series with Chris Pratt was absolute dog water. I don't like any of those films. And you know, people talk about how bad Dominion gets. I thought the first one was stupid. He's riding on a motorcycle with raptors. Like, how much do I need to suspend disbelief compared to the original? Or you have a raptor creeping in a girl's bedroom like it's some scene from a horror movie. It's just so unbelievable. They've lost the plot entirely when it comes to making a horror movie, a realistic movie, straight up schlocky family entertainment. So I think Jurassic Park Rebirth slots perfectly into this franchise if you like dinosaur movies. And as hard as I'm being on the other movies, I think they all kind of felt the same to watch as Rebirth. Hence, I had a pretty decent time with Rebirth. Because you have great CGI, you have great set pieces, you have land, sea, and air, you get to see dinosaurs you've never seen before. And I think the cast in this movie, and I think the characters in this movie are better than basically all the other movies besides the first one. I understand they don't really flesh out Scarlett Johansson's character. Mahershala Ali is a little bit underused. You know, there are some kind of like satirical moments where they try to get heartfelt and then they just scrap it. You can tell they almost edited this movie down. They removed important scenes to cut the runtime. But I thought the CGI in this movie was fun. I thought it was big, dumb fun. Exactly what I want in a dinosaur movie. I will say, though, the opening of this movie is completely asinine. You have this giant lockdown facility and a Snickers bar wrapper opens the door. I mean, that's like the laziest writing ever. It felt something out of Final Destination, just straight to Tubi. Yeah, this movie's not going to change any lives or anything, but if you do like Jurassic Park, I think this movie's completely fine. I don't understand how you can watch any other movie in this franchise and go, that one's terrible, these ones are great. They're all kind of the same, besides the first one. Am I going crazy? People are seriously talking about the plot in this film like it's the same as the other movies. Every single movie in this franchise copied the first movie. They're all the exact same. All of the character arcs are the same. The plot is the same. The setups are the same. The dinosaurs are the same, except for this movie. Hence, I think it stands out a little bit. You get different set pieces and different dinosaurs we've never seen. So yeah, I don't know. People are talking about this thing like it's the worst movie of the year and it's just such a cash grab, which it probably is. It made almost $1 billion, but what are you expecting? This was never going to save the franchise. You can't save the franchise. We have one good movie and we've been cash grabbing ever since. So know what you get going into it. That's what I say. Ooh, this next one. I don't think Snow White's a good movie, but I still think it was a better movie than Mickey 17. Now, Snow White is the most easy punching bag movie of the year. Some woke pile of garbage. People are saying when you have an unlikable actress portraying Snow White in a live action movie nobody asked for. And you're probably wondering, why did you say Snow White's bad, but it's better than Mickey 17? If anything, that says how bad Mickey 17 is. I've heard people talk about this movie like it's great commentary. This movie is easily one of the worst movies of the year. I thought it was almost unwatchably terrible. At least in Snow White, the lead actress could sing a little bit and maybe kids could have a good time with the world building, but for the life of me, I could not understand how any adult would like Mickey 17. I mean, let's be honest, when we went into Snow White, we all expected it to be garbage. We had expectations on the floor, but Mickey 17, given the director being of Parasite, one of my favorite movies ever, and just how good his track record is, and you know, the trailer looked pretty good. You have Robert Pattinson. This movie was expected to be a layup. But what we got was this awful, not funny, satirical comedy about this guy who clones himself, some terrible Trump impersonation by Mark Ruffalo, who, as I've said before, I'm not super personal in attacks, but I think the guy's a complete hack. He can't act at all. And Mickey 17 was just an unwatchable movie. So more so than praising Snow White, I truly believe Mickey 17 is one of the worst movies of the year. And somehow I've scoured YouTube. I've found people saying the most surprising movies of the year, some of the best movies of the year so far. And I hear Mickey 17 come up. There might not be a movie I forgot quicker than Mickey 17. I forgot that movie before I went to the bathroom after the show. So yeah, this hot take is not really about me praising Snow White. I don't think that's a good movie at all whatsoever. But I think it sounds good to compare it to Mickey 17 to give you some gravity and some stakes to how bad Mickey 17 is, in my opinion. That movie did nothing well. absolute garbage. And the final hot take I have on this list, you'll be familiar with this one if you follow my channel because I've made a couple of videos about this and people are still up in arms both ways, passionate and hate. That is 28 Years Later is a terrible movie objectively, and it's not profound, it's not earned, and it's like the dumbest thing ever for this movie to go the route it's going and to come at this point in the franchise. But people talk about this movie like it's changing lives. It's so profound. The commentary on Brexit, the commentary on life and death. This is one of the dumbest decisions in the franchise I can ever recall. The third movie in the franchise, almost 20 years later, taking a completely different route with characters we've never met before and making this movie a ripoff of The Forest that has nothing to do with the rage virus. The original rage virus is barely even in this movie, if at all. They've replaced it with Samson the Alpha's giant hog. The common criticism of my criticism is I didn't understand the movie. It's supposed to be doing commentary on death, and it's supposed to be talking about Brexit or the exile of the community. This movie is so unearned. You have characters that are dumb as shit. You have this bullet time action with the arrows that feels completely out of place. The editing, same with the medieval footage that's spliced. Again, doing commentary on their society. I don't care. It's out of place. It does not fit the movie whatsoever. I don't care what the purpose is. The pacing and the timing of this movie is just so all over the place. It's so pretentious. You have commentary about life and death from this crazy doctor who's collecting skulls. And from the time you meet characters to the point they demise, it's like 5 minutes from the time they die to the time somebody is holding their skull. Like, no time passes, nothing's allowed to breathe. I do not understand at all, aside from the fact that people want to avoid a hate mob that I've gotten, how people are saying this is a well-made movie, let alone enjoying it. Sure, there are 2 to 3 scenes in this movie that are pretty good. You have the scene on the water bridge where you have the alphas chasing them. You have a scene inside of a train outside of the hog that's 2 inches from my face when they zoom in on it. And aside from that, you don't care about any characters in this movie. Spike's kind of a dipshit. He's willing to almost kill his family to prove a point to his dad. And then you have the dad who seemingly just goes MIA. He doesn't care about the fact that his kid has run off until the final 5 minutes. He has an epiphany. You meet this soldier who you don't care about at all. He exists only to get his head ripped off. There is one scene in the dark that's pretty cool. Mom is one of the most poorly acted characters of the year with a terrible accent. And then you have the doctor who's clearly crazy and just has a fetish for blood. So I don't know. I didn't believe anything about this movie. I thought it was lazily written. I thought the cinematography was really good, but everything other than that was pretty much ass. And I don't understand how people love this movie so much and think it was just some awesome, profound movie about death. My eyes were rolling. It was just so pretentiously stupid. And this movie to me is just the epitome of everything wrong with movie discussion in 2025. A bunch of smug people coming here saying, you don't understand the movie. It's not made for you, as if a global release was not made for everybody outside of Britain, apparently. And the defense of the most asinine, but yet comically awesome belly laugh I have had of the year with that ending that is so tonally out of place, the Teletubbies would have actually fit better. So yeah, sorry, had to talk about this movie one final time just because the sequel's trailer just dropped and I think it looks equally as terrible as this one was. So my expectations are below floor level now. Yeah, comment down below. Let me know if you agree, disagree with any of these, or just comment some of your hottest movie takes of the year so far. Things that you just feel like the average person, the average YouTuber or critic does not agree with whatsoever. You watch something and you said, I do not get it. As always, like, comment, subscribe down below, join the channel. I love talking movies with you, but I will see you in the next video. Peace.